This is the Ring of Honor, a.k.a. Shane T, boy, the baddest champion you ever seen, boy.
This is Mr. Anderson.
This is good old JR Jim Ross, and you are listening.
You're listening to Knockouts in 3 Counts.
Cover! We got a career world champion!
That might be one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen in my life.
Knockouts in 3 Counts is the podcast, baby! It's the real deal, baby!
Knockouts in 3 Counts starts now.
What up? No, it's Knockouts in 3 Counts and we popping up on you. Well, not for a good reason, though, because as you guys saw, if you guys were watching our show with James Lynch last night, which if you didn't, you can hit that subscribe button and check it out when you're done with this. But there was all the WWE releases. Shout out to everybody that is subscribed that was letting us know in the comments. But I mean, I figured I'd go grab the homie J-Bone and we would dissect what's going on. What's up to everybody who's in the feed? If you guys are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like button, comment button. Let us know what you're thinking. Timmy Payne, what do you think about these releases, bro? Timmy Payne, what do you think about these releases? J-Bone, what are your thoughts on the news of another big round of releases for the WWE, bro?
Man, I don't know what they're doing over there, but dude, there's so much. It's not like they're just releasing like end of the road guys or just talent that's swept under the rug, man. It's like they are releasing top tier athletes and talent, and it just, I don't understand it. I don't, especially the people this time around. I don't get it, man. I mean, here we are doing it out of nowhere show because of this
popping up on you because they got to get their shit together. What they should have done was eat some weed guys fried chicken, and they would have been all right. What up, though, Weedy? I appreciate you in the comments, kind sir. What up, though, fellas? Tim Payne, pretty crazy, shocked about Kross and Scarlett. Before we get to the list of people that were let go by WWE for this one, the craziest thing about it is the timing of it, right? So, at first, when Nick Khan came in and all this, you heard all this about money and all those kind of things, but they just reported in their quarterly earning call that they had reportedly earned upwards of $256 million, and we're talking about extra, all this extra money, how they did so well and all these things, dude. That's insane. So then why would you be getting rid of all this top talent? Some of them have come out and said what they think some of it is, Nia Jax being one in particular. Alex was the one letting us know in the comments yesterday. We appreciate you guys. Weedy, you already know what it is, man. I'm just mad at you because you won't play back for blood with me. I'm pissed. I want to beat the game too. You try to make me look like I'm a bum out here and then come embarrass me on my own show. What the fuck? But yeah, man, it's I've heard that WWE's selling, but I just find that so hard to believe. So hard to believe that they're selling. But then again, I mean, money is money. But holy shit, could you imagine if WWE sold? In a time where Ring of Honor is doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Only way I could see them selling, dude, is if Vince knows something we don't know, like he's on his way out and he's like, screw it, I'm gonna get rid of this thing, just get it off and inherit the money and give it away, whatever the hell he's doing. He's got to know something that we don't, because I couldn't imagine. I mean, Vince don't need money, so what would he sell the WWE for? You know what I mean? I
just feel like it. I mean, it's one of those things where
baseball, dude, it's been around forever. I mean, obviously, we can't even remember a time where there was no WWE. We'd have to go back before we even fucking born. So.
So I always thought that I would like to think that whenever, Vince does pass on, that he would just want to keep the company in his family, and that everything would be, just passed on because, I mean, especially with somebody like Triple H, we saw what he did with NXT. But I mean, at this point, sometimes it really just seems like at this point he wants to show like this is my show. And, I want things to go the way they do. But I mean, I can't lie to you, man. Doesn't make a lot of sense because then the craziest thing about it is the COO or the CFO, excuse me, that had to like do all this, then step down after having to announce all that. So it's just like, It's crazy. It was office people and talent. They're saying I was doing the research before we hopped on here. The number's up to over 70 wrestlers in 2021 have been let go.
And top tier guys at that, guys and girls, talent that's freaking out of this world, man. And you're just letting them go. Just wasting them. I mean, I don't get it. Like I was saying before we went on, you could probably start let's minus AEW out of the equation. You could probably start a third company with the stars that were let go.
Oh, dude, you could. I mean, they literally were saying that on Busted Open this morning.
It's incredible, man, the guys that they let go. It's unbelievable to me.
So let's talk a little bit about that, though. Like I said, it was over 70 wrestlers, but in particular with Nia Jax, man. Nia Jax, put a statement out on her Instagram and her Twitter regarding, why she had been gone. And she said that she was off due to her mental health. And when she was scheduled to come back at the November 15th show, she asked for an extension and then was later released. I wonder, with somebody like her, does it have something to do with, there were already a lot of reports with her having heat with Charlotte and then having hurt a few people. And, Tim, I'm not saying that Escobar is going anywhere yet. I'm just saying I don't think he's going anywhere, but at this point, who knows? But like I say, with Nia, I mean, she says that she was off for mental health, and then, when she asked for extension, that's when she was released. Like, that's not a good look if that's how that went down, bro.
No, especially within your company, man, because first and foremost, your mental health has got to come first. It's got to. Just like the whole Jon Moxley situation. You see the reception that had within AEW and the fans there. Your health and your wellness has to come completely first. That's before wrestling. It's bigger than wrestling. But
Facts.
for a company to, if that's the case and that's how it went down, so it's probably a blessing to her, regardless of her situation, because if a company's willing to turn your back on you in that case, in that situation, you probably don't want to be there in the first place, to be honest.
And that's the thing, dude. It really leaves you scratching your head when you look at the list of people that they let go, because I'm just sharing it out here real quick so I can let other people know what's going on real quick. Just drop it in real quick. Ain't going to be a long one today, but just giving our quick thoughts on these releases. If you guys got any thoughts or anything, please let us know in the comments. Tim, you hit the nail on the head. We'll start there. You're talking about Keith Lee. I think Keith Lee is a huge loss. I mean, we were at his last match here in Michigan at Evolve, before he went to NXT. And then you had a guy who in NXT was NXT champion, did great. And obviously I can understand, Vince wanting to move some things around so he wrestles more of style for Raw. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand that. But at the same time, like, I just don't see how, like, you'd think you always hear Vince likes big guys and athletic guys and all that. Well, I mean, check all the boxes when you're talking about Keith Lee. And Tim, you're not lying, bro. Yeah. I mean, he was accomplished in NXT, but again, I think that's because Triple H and Shawn Michaels were at the helm of that. Here's a question. Where do you think Keith Lee is going to end up? I don't know, man. I think Keith Lee has a lot to offer. Keith Lee is definitely one I could see AEW picking up, but I'm sure there's definitely going to be a non-compete on him for sure.
That did they all get 30 days? I seen a few of them say 30 days.
Well, no, NXT he was on Raw though. So if you're on main roster, you get a 90-day.
All right, here's a question for you, Kyle, and you might be able to try like give me some feedback on this. So let's say these guys are done in 90 days. What would be better? Would it be better for them to jump ship and go to another company and sign commitment there, or would it better for them to be like journeymen and kind of bounce around to New Japan, like shorter term contracts, Ring of Honor, New Japan when it comes Ring of Honor when it comes
well,
back?
Ring of Honor is gone now. That's why I'm saying it's just crazy to have all this
like
more
MLW, GCW. Would it be better for them to bounce around to pick up some steam, or would it be better for them to just jump ship and go to AEW? Not for everybody, for a guy like Keith Lee.
All right. Alex coming into the comments, Keith Lee in Japan, MLW or AEW would make sense. I agree with that. I think that he would definitely do well in all those places, but that kind of lends to what I was talking about. Alex, is I think it depends on the person, and it also depends on who's attracted and who. But I'd like to think that a lot of the people that are in WWE, especially with the way the indies are going to be with Ring of Honor closing down, I feel like you might see a real tick back with like companies like GCW and these other indies and all that stuff. I think you're going to see more of that. I could see people banging around to some places like a Keith Lee. I could see him banging around to PWG, being that he was, big over there. I could see, like, Alex said, him going to MLW or to Japan for a minute or whatever it is. But then again, when you talk about a lot of the female talent, I could see them, like Tim said, Tim, throughout in the comments, I see Ember being AEW bound.
Be a good move.
I think she would be great for AEW with her experience. She's a former,
like you were saying, the women's division is they need women's wrestling over there. So
yeah, and Alex brought up another great comment in that at least the wrestlers are paid during their non-compete. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just crazy to think because it doesn't make sense in a lot of ways. What do you say we go down this list real quick?
All
right. So from what I can see here, the complete list of at least talent-wise, some of the big ones, Karron Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux, Franky Monet, who just wrestled for the NXT women's title just, a month ago. Tim coming in the comments. J-Bone, feel free to answer that while I go over these. Franky Monet, who just wrestled for the title, Ember Moon, as we mentioned, Gran Metalik, Lince Dorado, which both guys I think had wanted out in those situations. Oney Lorcan, who just had the NXT tag titles. Trey Baxter's already been announced for GCW in December. Jeet Rama, who was on NXT. B-Fab, who's another one that's really doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
She was only on SmackDown for 1 week. They had her on TV one time. She never even wrestled on SmackDown. Granted, was her match in NXT very good, but again, that's why I didn't understand why they were moving the whole group up there. You could have done with
why
her.
Do that? That's what I'm saying. Why do that? If I don't know what's behind it all, man, but why waste your time?
Sometimes it just doesn't make sense, man. And then you had Jessi Kamea, Katrina Cortez, and Zayda Ramier. And then you had Keith Lee and Mia Yim. And then you had the British Bulldog, who the British Bulldog didn't even wrestle a match on TV. They only had him do a damn dark match.
Yeah. So to answer Tim's question, or at least some input on that, I think Ring of Honor knew the direction they were headed. Maybe, I mean, we don't know all the details, but maybe they were losing steam, losing money, whatever it was. Maybe a TV deal was up, but I think they were more so doing their talent a favor with letting them go and saying, we're going to come back.
So Tim, for all intents purposes, as far as it looks now, they're basically shutting down until April of next year after Final Battle in December. So by them releasing the entire roster, that's giving them the ability to go sign places, because technically, since they're under contract with Ring of Honor, there's obviously there's going to be restrictions to them being able to get on TV and do different things like that. So I think they're doing it more as a favor, where these guys, they don't got a job. And then and here's the thing, like you just said, why is there not as much hate on Ring of Honor? Ring of Honor is closing the whole company, Tim. WWE is letting these people go, and now Ring of Honor is gone. So that's one less place for, these people to go.
Yeah. And on the point of Keith Lee, man, look, I was down in NXT War Games in Chicago, 2019, and it was Team Ciampa versus Undisputed Era, and Keith Lee was in that match, dude. He shined in that match, and even got put in the main event Survivor Series match with him and Roman Reigns. Came down to him and Roman, and did he not fucking tear the house down with Roman? Right there, and then, if I'm not mistaken, didn't something happen with the overseas? That they brought, and the reason they did that is because something happened overseas. They had to bring NXT aboard Survivor Series, right?
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. And dude took it to the next level. Like, you are owed something from that. And I feel like ever since he's been brought up to the main roster, dude, they pretty much shit on the guy, to be honest.
Can't really argue that. I wouldn't be shocked with all the releases if one for Morrison was coming too. It's a bummer too, because okay, so let's talk about Taya, since he brought them up. Here's the thing, man. Like, and again, make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Keep the comments coming in. We greatly appreciate it. Share it and let people know, because it's greatly appreciated. That's what helps us grow. That being said, Taya was, like I said, one of the best female wrestlers in the world outside WWE. She had a extensive legacy or resume in Mexico, was doing her thing in Impact. Morrison, once he left, he was a champion everywhere he was. AAA, you had Impact, he Lucha Underground, and Taya, same thing. She was there. She was in Impact. It's crazy. They get these people, they bring them over, and then Taya did really well against Raquel Gonzalez. It wasn't like the match sucked. And then they just never did anything with her after that, and then she just gets released. I don't get it. Like, sometimes you almost wonder, like it's crazy, because then do you think that devalues anybody? Do you think that's going to devalue any of their name? Tim, Alex, let me know in the comments. Do you guys think that that's going to devalue any of their name, that they, went into NXT or WWE and then just got let go quick like that? Because I think that's bogus out of this too, because then, look what it does to them. Like, okay, yeah, they took you to WWE and then they just got rid of you. But again, I mean, maybe that's just the nature of the beast. With WWE at this point, Impact going to film a vignette of Taya breaking out of prison. I mean, it definitely wouldn't be a big shocker to see her go back to Impact. Hell, I mean, she'd be one that wouldn't be a bad one to go to AEW either, because I mean, that's my big hope for this is, a lot of people talked about, most people and companies know how WWE works. That's a very valid point. So, and here's the thing, right? So I hope that AEW is smart with whoever it is that they acquire, with the names that are still out there, because let's not forget, along with the names that were released in this one, like Karron Kross, who I think is definitely going to come back out on the indies and make some noise real quick, and then probably be signed up somewhere real quickly after. But let's not forget, you still got Wyndham Rotunda, who's freshly out of his no compete. And that's what I'm getting at, Tim. Like, AEW can't sign everyone. So I'm saying they need to be real selective with who they pick. And I hope that with all the female talent that's out here, that they pick up some real, like, diamonds in the rough, for their women's division to really pad that up. But some of the people like Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt, I just find it hard to see that he would go anywhere but another big company. But that's what makes things interesting with where people will go. But then also with a company like ROH closing down, that's one less place for people to work. So it's going to be interesting to see where people end up.
I think it's odd, they're saying budget cuts. It's all due to budget cuts. But like, if you look at Karron
But
Kross,
they're reporting their highest earnings.
right? If you look at Karron Kross and Keith Lee, it's been well documented that these guys are struggling with the creative with that. With Bearcat Lee, he already been on Twitter today saying that wasn't his idea, and Karron Kross hated the helmet. So I'm wondering if these guys are fighting back a little bit, a little resistance from them to the company, and they're like, you know what, we're not dealing with that. You know what I mean? Maybe something. It's got to have something to do with it. But those guys are superstars, man. They're going to be fine wherever they go. That's for sure. But it's just the timing and the situation of it. It's crazy to me. I read something earlier. They said that Vince is feeding AEW these guys in hopes that they're going to sign everybody and just go bankrupt.
I heard that too, and that's the thing. And in reference to what Alex said, and Alex, thank you for checking us out again, brother man. We greatly appreciate you. Like I said, man, it just doesn't make sense, dude. Like, I mean, they're letting all these people go, and you're talking about a Keith Lee, but like Keith Lee, I think it was more of a situation where they're trying to get he's trying to get used to what they want on the main roster, where you talk about a Karron Kross. Karron Kross was killing it on NXT, and then they put him in this gimmick, bro. They bring him up there as the NXT champion, and he loses his first match to Jeff Hardy, who was 6-32 at the time. It's still Jeff Hardy, but I mean, dude, like that basically says right there, I don't give a damn about NXT. And to reference what Alex is saying in the comments, BFAB is one of the biggest ones I don't understand, because this is what I was saying when they brought Hit Row up in the first place. Why did you need to bring Hit Row all up as a group when it was clear after her first match she still needed work? But you knew that because she was green. So why bring the whole group up like that? And then on top of that, she only was on SmackDown 1 week and didn't even wrestle. So there wasn't even anything like she did wrong on SmackDown, really. So, I mean, it really is at this point. It's sometimes just seeming like they're just going with who they can and who they think will get over.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. This, especially like, I feel like WWE is creating such a reputation for themselves right now, and it's almost like they're doing it on purpose. Like, yeah,
I agree with you 100%. Keith Lee was just starting to kind of get into his stride. I think he was kind of trying to figure out what they wanted for him. And, never really got the chance to do that. And with Karron Kross and Scarlett, dude, like they basically clipped Karron Kross's balls off as soon as he got up to the main roster, because his entrance was like one of the most badass parts of the whole thing. And then he, and then they take her off TV for whatever reason. Why would you not want another beautiful woman on TV? I don't know. But you don't want her on TV, and then you completely change him into like a demolition reject. And as you saw on Instagram and Twitter, like he said, didn't nobody want that helmet? Killer Kross and Scarlett are a pair that will print money for any company. I agree with you 100%.
And they will.
I agree with you 100%. They're going to get picked back up as soon as they're available.
Yeah.
They're going to get picked back up as soon as they're available. I mean, Sammy Callahan and Pro Wrestling Revolver are already showing Karron Kross, or not Karron Kross, Killer Kross vignettes. God, he's been Karron Kross so long, I find myself not calling him Killer Kross. When he came into WWE, I kept calling him Killer Kross when he first came into WWE. I'm a big fan of Killer Kross, and I really hope he comes out of it well. Where do you think anybody's going to be really clamoring to pick up Nia Jax?
I think if they could pick her up right now, maybe just because everything's so fresh and maybe give her like a hot mic or something. I don't know. But I think as time goes by, I think the shock value is going to wear off for her just because of everything that she's been through with the heat and everything, her injuring other people. The longer it goes for her, I think it's going to devalue her. But I mean, I think she will find a home somewhere. I mean, especially like we said earlier, AEW needs women wrestling, and they have a pretty big pool to pick from now, so they can pretty much establish a very good women's wrestling division.
I think losing Cole was a big loss for NXT, but I don't think they really saw it as a big loss because they never really brought him up to the main roster. But I mean, being there in Chicago, Tim, it was a badass, dude. It was a badass moment to see him come in, and from all the interviews I've heard so far, he's clearly enjoying himself. Alex, excuse me for my indecency, but now that Scarlett is free, hey brother, just check out her Instagram. I feel like you might be all right.
Hardcore one too, a hardcore match.
He said that hardcore match too. What you guys think Gargano and Kyle is going to do apparently backstage for SmackDown tonight? I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see because I heard that both of their contracts are up, though.
Are they having a dark match? Is that what I read earlier? They're having a dark match tonight at SmackDown?
I don't know, man. I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to keep our ears to the ground with that one. But, I mean, then that raises the next question. If Kyle O'Reilly left WWE, does he end up the next member of the Undisputed Era that ends up over there in AEW? So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to have to see what happens, but it looks like a dark match. Of course, yeah, definitely doing contract negotiations. I'm just saying we'll have to see what they offer to see if Kyle O'Reilly's still cool with it. Cole was in the same spot. He said that it was he did say that it was like a last minute decision. He loved his time in WWE and NXT, but there was a lot of things pulling him over there. You got to remember the good doctor DMD is over there in AEW. That's a pretty good thing to pull you over there. And then you got to remember he's good homies with the Bucks and all that, as we've already seen. So we're gonna have to see what happens. And I mean, you've already got built-in stories from before he left for WWE, like having Kenny kill him and being the Elite. So him and Kenny are gonna have to fight at some point. And I mean, he's look at his theme song, bro. The new theme song that they came out with him off the rip was on the top of the metal charts. J-Bone, check out J-Bone for your hip hop and music needs, J-Bone Show podcast and all that good stuff. Check out the homie and you see there, check it out. But like I said, I mean, and then for your song to be that high on the charts like that,
big time. That's big time, man. I'm wondering, since Cole is over there and Bobby Fish, I wonder. I mean, obviously Kyle O'Reilly sees this stuff. They know. They if we can hear it, they can hear it.
Oh, they're definitely talking.
So I just
even if they were being quiet about it, they're definitely talking.
Contract wise, they pretty much know what they're going
to do. They talk to each other like shit.
Yeah.
If you think him and Cole don't still talk, you're crazy.
Right. So I'm wondering especially Kyle O'Reilly, I think his contract's up in December or something like that. So I feel like these guys.
I agree with you, Alex. I think that she needs to be, like I was saying, that's why when the news of ROH went down, that's why I immediately said I think the ROH women's division needs to be a target of AEW. Mm-hmm. Ember Moon definitely needs to be a target because of the Ember Moon, Athena, whatever she's going to go by in AEW. But if she goes to AEW, excuse me. But like I said, she would be a great pickup for them. Kyle O'Reilly, Kevin Steen, Gargano. I agree. Yeah. And I think out of the three of those, I could see Gargano staying, but I could also see Kyle O'Reilly and Kevin Steen, or Kevin Owens right now, but Kevin Steen coming over there because, I mean, what have they done with Kevin Owens in recent memory?
Right. And why not? Like you said earlier, all your boys are over there, man. You got your whole crew over there. Why wouldn't you want to go work over there in a fun environment and what seems like a more non-toxic environment, I guess, when it comes to certain situations? You got more creative control over your persona. So why the hell not? And they got money. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, people seem to really be enjoying it over there. The thing is, though, like I said, the same thing with what we've been saying with WWE, hence the title for this show, the Purge of WWE. I mean, AEW has a lot of talent too, which is why I said, you're going to have to be careful. People are already calling them WWE Light, so you'll have to pick, you're going to have to pick wisely with who you get. But I think the female talent would be a priority. And I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see Wyndham Rotunda show up and maybe take over the Dark Order, for his good buddy Brody Lee. I think that would be really dope. But I don't know, man. I think that pretty well covers it. Like I said, it's crazy because, like I said, even when you think about it from a couple standpoint for like Karron Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux and, Mia Yim and Keith Lee, it just, I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense. And then especially when you're reporting, $256 million in earnings and, you're reporting huge that you're exceeding expectations, then why do you need to cut people out? Yeah. But now that Kross and Keith Lee are gone, how long is Roman going to have that championship? I don't think that they really are going to affect Roman too much. I think Roman's place is pretty well cemented at this point. Yeah. I think he's going to stay champion for as long as they want. Now, what happens after they go through the Brock thing, who knows? But at the same time, I feel like they've built him up at this point. I don't really see him.
Roman's
I don't really see him going back down.
At least till WrestleMania at the very minimum.
If that, and I mean, again, they might give it to Brock, but I think it would come right back off him.
Yeah. Roman's doing something special, man. It's been one of the best title reigns I've seen in a long time. So
look, dude, the storyline with him and Paul Heyman, I think, is the best one in wrestling now, with him, Paul Heyman, and Lesnar. I think you might see a little bit of a pause on it while he's quote unquote suspended to get us through Survivor Series. But we're going to have to keep an eye on it. Like I said, thoughts and prayers to everybody who was released from WWE, as well as all the people from Ring of Honor. Like I said, shout out to the homie Shane Taylor and everybody else from Ring of Honor, Mike Bennett. What'd you say?
Somebody's knocking at my door.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
I'm busy, man.
But yeah, man. Like I say, make sure you guys check us out this Tuesday. We will have Mark the Shark Irwin from Bare Knuckle FC will be on with us this Tuesday. Alex, we appreciate you. Timmy Payne, T-Pain, we appreciate you. We'll definitely have to get back out to a wrestling show again soon.
My sister, she had to come.
It's opportunity. I agree. Kathy, you are like the MVP. You seriously show up every time we're live. Yeah, dude, it is opportunity, but it's just going to be interesting to see how it shakes out, because you can only have so many people on one hand, and then on the other hand, you also got to take into account J-Bone. Your boy Shane coming up in the comments.
What up, man? Hell yeah, that's my dog right there.
Hey, man, we appreciate you guys checking us out. It definitely is opportunity. Kathy, I know you're a fan of the fisticuffs. We are going to have Mark the Shark Irwin from Bare Knuckle FC. Shane, salute to you, brother, man. We appreciate you checking us out. I know you got in here a little late. Check out what we was talking about, and if you got any thoughts, please feel free to let us know. It's I appreciate it. I wish everybody would click the notification button, and then I wouldn't have to answer a million different times when the hell we're on the air. But it's a good thing. We appreciate that you even want to check us out when we're on the air. So until next time, and in the in-between time, hopefully I can clear out this fucking nose from this Michigan weather, and I wouldn't sound like it's getting held on and I sound like Dumbo. But by Tuesday, it's going to be on like gumbo, like a pot of neck bone. We getting on it. Like I said, with J-Bone. Until next time, peace. See what I did there?